Warning: 10 subtle red flags that someone is manipulating you. Stoic principles. Welcome to Stoic Secrets, where we dive deep into the timeless principles of Stoicism and explore how they can be applied to modern life. Today, we've uncovered a crucial topic: recognizing the subtle signs of manipulation. In a world full of complexities, maintaining control and rationality is essential to protecting yourself from negative influences. Modern Stoicism teaches us how to manage our emotions and actions, and this is the key to recognizing and resisting manipulation. If you found value in today's lesson, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Secrets for more Stoic secrets. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next video. Number 1. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a harmful form of manipulation, where someone twists the truth to make you doubt your reality. It often leads to confusion and insecurity, as the manipulator denies events or your recollections, making you question your thoughts. In such situations, Stoicism provides valuable tools to maintain self-control and clarity. By focusing on reason and objective truth, we can resist manipulation and protect our mental well-being. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we have power over our minds, not external events. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When confronted with gaslighting, trusting your own perception and reason helps you stay grounded. Seneca also reminds us, "The truth does not mind being questioned," urging us to seek the truth for ourselves instead of accepting another person's version of reality. Take Sarah's story as an example. She was in a toxic relationship with her husband, who frequently dismissed her recollections and made her feel like she was imagining things. Over time, his manipulation wore her down, making her doubt her own thoughts. This scenario illustrates the importance of questioning distorted versions of reality and trusting your judgment. By practicing Stoic principles such as focusing on reason, seeking truth, and maintaining emotional control, we can navigate manipulative situations with clarity and confidence. When you feel manipulated, ask yourself, am I trusting my own mind or letting someone control my thoughts? Remaining anchored in your own perception and relying on reason helps you reclaim your autonomy and build resilience against toxic behaviors. In the end, the key to overcoming gaslighting is to stay true to your reality. Trust yourself, seek truth, and make Stoic principles part of your life to maintain clarity, wisdom, and inner strength. Number 2. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a powerful tool that manipulators often use to control others. You've probably heard phrases like, "After all I've done for you," or "If you loved me, you would." These kinds of statements are designed to make you feel responsible for someone else's emotional state, manipulating your actions by tapping into your sense of guilt. But Stoicism teaches us that we don't have to let guilt control us. Instead, we should rely on reason and our personal values to guide our decisions. In modern life, this is especially relevant. Whether it's in a relationship, at work, or even with family members, manipulators can easily use guilt to get what they want. For example, think about a situation where a friend constantly asks for favors, but makes you feel guilty when you say no, often bringing up how much they've helped you in the past. While it may seem difficult to say no in these moments, Stoic lessons remind us that our actions should be based on our principles, not on an emotional response triggered by guilt. We have the power to make decisions that align with our values, without being swayed by guilt or pressure. The Stoics believed that we should always ask ourselves, what is the rational response to this situation? Instead of feeling bad for setting boundaries, we can recognize that taking care of our own well-being is not selfish. It's necessary for maintaining healthy relationships. In the end, Stoic principles teach us that true strength comes from making choices based on wisdom, not guilt. So next time you feel manipulated by guilt, pause, reflect, and remind yourself that you have the power to choose based on your values, not someone else's emotional demands. And if you've made it this far, let me know by leaving a comment with "I choose my peace" below. It's amazing to see those of you who are standing firm and applying these Stoic lessons to take control of your life. Number 3. Isolation. Have you ever met someone who was overly affectionate, made you feel special, only to realize later that it was just a manipulation tactic? This is love bombing, a way for a manipulator to create an emotional dependency in order to control you. It may seem great at first, but in reality, it is a trap that makes you feel indebted to them for their affection. Stoicism teaches us to keep a cool head and not let our emotions get the best of us. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts." This means we need to control our minds and not get caught up in flattery or over-the-top gestures. Have you ever been swept up in promises, only to realize that something was wrong? Stoicism helps us stand firm by focusing on our core values and boundaries. When someone showers you with too much affection too quickly, ask yourself, is this genuine affection or is it manipulation? The secret of Stoicism is to control your emotions. Love bombing may make you feel special, but if you stop to reflect, you will realize what is genuine affection and what is manipulation. By keeping your emotions in balance, you protect yourself and maintain your integrity. Apply this lesson by asking yourself, am I losing my sanity? Remember Marcus Aurelius, you have control over your mind, not over external events. Don't let flattery control you. Instead, maintain your equanimity and clarity. Refusing to be manipulated is not weakness, it is strength. When you value inner peace over external validation, you truly take control of your life. Number 4. Love bombing. One of the most subtle and insidious signs of manipulation is isolation. This tactic often involves someone attempting to separate you from the people who care about you, friends, family, or even supportive colleagues. By isolating you from your support network, they make you more dependent on them, gaining control over your thoughts and emotions. In these situations, it can feel as if your world is shrinking, and your only source of validation or support is the very person trying to manipulate you. Stoicism, however, offers us an important antidote to this tactic, the value of friendship and community. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What this means is that our thoughts, shaped by our relationships and the people we surround ourselves with, directly impact our peace and well-being. Healthy relationships act as a mirror, reflecting back to us our true worth and providing the support we need to maintain our iron mind, the mental strength that allows us to remain unaffected by external manipulation. The Stoics valued connection as they understood that human beings are social creatures. They believed that by engaging with others who shared similar values and principles, we could reinforce our own character and grow in wisdom. This is why maintaining strong, supportive relationships is key to protecting ourselves from the isolating effects of manipulation. In modern life, it's easy to become distracted by work or personal issues, but it's essential to nurture our friendships and keep a strong community around us. These connections not only offer emotional support, but also help us stay grounded in our values and true to ourselves. So, when you recognize the red flag of isolation, remember the Stoic lesson. True strength lies in the wisdom of surrounding yourself with good company. It's in these relationships that we find the strength to resist manipulation and stay true to our principles, maintaining both our peace of mind and emotional resilience. Number 5. Passive aggression. Passive-aggressive behavior can be one of the most frustrating things to deal with, especially when it comes from people who are supposed to be on your side, like co-workers, friends, or even family members. You've probably encountered those subtle, backhanded compliments, or experienced moments where someone accidentally sabotages your work, only to act innocent afterward. It's the kind of behavior that leaves you feeling confused, powerless, and drained, because the person behind it rarely confronts you directly. Instead, they disguise their negativity through subtle actions, making it hard to respond or defend yourself. This kind of behavior erodes your self-esteem over time because it makes you question your own abilities and intentions. The frustration builds and you feel stuck in a cycle of trying to figure out what's really going on. John, a 50-year-old man, shared a story about a co-worker who would accidentally mess up his work and then act as if nothing happened, leaving John feeling stressed and powerless. This is where the teachings of Stoicism can offer real relief. Stoic lessons emphasize the importance of accepting what we cannot change and focusing on what is within our control. While you cannot control the behavior of passive-aggressive individuals, you can control how you respond to them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is a powerful reminder that instead of getting lost in the drama or trying to fix others, focus on how you act and how you can maintain your integrity despite the behavior of others. When you encounter passive-aggressive actions, rather than reacting impulsively or getting sucked into their game, you can pause, reflect, and choose how to respond based on your values. Are you allowing yourself to be controlled by someone else's actions, or are you choosing to protect your peace and stay focused on your own actions? By practicing Stoicism, you strengthen your ability to respond to difficult people with clarity and wisdom, protecting your self-esteem and emotional well-being. So the next time you encounter passive-aggressive behavior, remember the Stoic approach. Accept what you cannot control and focus on what you can, your own response, your own actions, and your own peace of mind. Number 6. Changing the subject. When dealing with difficult people, one of the most common tactics they may use is deflection, shifting the focus away from the issue at hand by changing the subject. This can be incredibly frustrating because it avoids addressing the core problem, leaving you feeling unheard and powerless. But the Stoic approach to this kind of manipulation is clear. We must face the truth bravely and not allow others to avoid accountability. Stoicism values honesty and directness in all things. The Stoics believed that we are responsible for confronting challenges head-on and dealing with them in a calm, reasoned way. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the difficulties we face, including people who deflect or avoid responsibility, are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities for growth. When someone tries to change the subject in an effort to evade accountability, we have a choice. We can either engage in the deflection and let the problem slide, or we can maintain our focus and calmly bring the conversation back to the issue at hand, always with integrity and clarity. In modern life, it's easy to fall into the trap of letting difficult conversations slide. particularly when someone tries to shift the focus to something less uncomfortable. However, doing so can reinforce unhealthy patterns of avoidance and dishonesty, both within ourselves and in our relationships with others. By standing firm and steering the conversation back to the truth, we practice what the Stoics call an iron mind, a mental fortitude that refuses to be swayed by distractions or falsehoods. This doesn't mean being confrontational for the sake of it, but rather acting with the wisdom and composure to address what truly matters. It's about having the courage to face discomfort in the pursuit of clarity and resolution. Think about it. How often do we let things go unsaid for fear of conflict, only to let them fester and grow in the background? By facing the truth, we free ourselves from the weight of unaddressed issues and clear the path for healthier, more honest interactions. The Stoic principle here is one of accountability, not just in others, but in ourselves as well. We must hold ourselves to a standard of truth, even when it's uncomfortable. This practice not only leads to greater self-respect, but it also encourages others to be more honest and direct. When you embrace truth and accountability, you strengthen your relationships and protect your peace of mind. So next time someone tries to avoid the issue by changing the subject, don't be afraid to gently bring the conversation back to the truth. Remember, what stands in the way becomes the way. By confronting deflection with clarity and honesty, you pave the way for deeper understanding and stronger connections. Number 7. Trivializing your concerns. Trivializing your concerns is a common tactic used by difficult people to make you feel as though your feelings don't matter. You've probably experienced a situation where you expressed a concern only to have someone dismiss it with phrases like, "You're overthinking it," or "It's not a big deal." This can lead to self-doubt and confusion, leaving you questioning the validity of your emotions. But from a Stoic perspective, your feelings are valid, and it's important to respect your own boundaries. Marcus Aurelius taught us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that no one should have the power to diminish your thoughts or emotions except yourself. You must recognize when your concerns are being trivialized and choose to stand firm in your truth, regardless of how others may try to undermine your perspective. In modern life, we often encounter people who dismiss or minimize our feelings, especially when they are too busy or overwhelmed to consider our emotional needs. However, Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of respecting your own boundaries and well-being. When your concerns are dismissed, it can make you question your emotions, but instead of feeling guilty for having them, remind yourself that you are entitled to your feelings and boundaries. This is where Stoicism comes in. Respect yourself and your emotions, regardless of external validation. Consider Rachel, a professional in a high-pressure environment who felt overwhelmed by long working hours, which were negatively impacting her personal life. When she expressed her need for more personal time to her boss, she was told she was overreacting. Initially, she questioned her feelings, but after reflecting on her values and Stoic principles, she realized her needs were legitimate. Rachel set clear boundaries, with respect, and in doing so earned her colleagues' respect and improved her work-life balance. Stoicism teaches us that we control our emotional responses. When we allow others to trivialize our concerns, we give away that power. Just because someone else doesn't value what matters to us doesn't make our feelings less important. By respecting ourselves and asserting our needs, we practice emotional resilience and self-control, the core of Stoic wisdom. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When your concerns are trivialized, Choose to respond with clarity and strength. Stand firm in your truth. Protect your boundaries and honor your feelings. This is the Stoic path to self-respect and emotional well-being. If you're ready to become the best version of yourself, if you're done living in the past, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I don't look back, I level up. Number 8. Future faking. In life, you may have encountered someone who makes big promises, telling you about a bright future, yet never follows through. This is what we call future faking. It's when people promise things like marriage, a house or children, and paint a beautiful picture of the future, but their actions never match their words. You might have found yourself clinging to these promises, holding on to the hope that someday things will fall into place. But as time passes, you start to realize that the promises made were nothing more than empty words, keeping you stuck in a false hope. It can be incredibly frustrating and emotionally draining, leaving you wondering why you were so invested in something that never materialized. But this is where Stoicism can offer guidance and clarity. The Stoic secret lies in focusing on the present moment and acting based on reality, rather than getting lost in the illusion of promises that may never come true. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish events to happen as they do happen, and your life will flow well." This quote reminds us that true peace and contentment come when we stop trying to control the future or chase after false hopes. Instead, we should focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and how we respond to the present. When someone makes grand promises but fails to follow through, it's important to step back and ask yourself, is this person's behavior reflecting the reality of the situation? Am I allowing myself to be caught up in a vision that isn't grounded in the present? By embracing Stoic principles, we free ourselves from the emotional roller coaster of future faking. Rather than waiting for things to happen or holding on to false expectations, we start focusing on what we can do today. Are you letting yourself be misled by promises that may never materialize? Or are you choosing to focus on what you can control right now? Shaping your life based on the reality of the present moment. Remember, by living in alignment with reality, you are better equipped to make decisions that serve your well-being rather than being trapped by illusions. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where future faking is at play, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I do today to move forward in a way that honors my values and keeps me grounded in the present? By practicing these Stoic lessons, you not only protect your peace, but you also empower yourself to live a life that aligns with what is truly within your control. Number 9. Playing the victim. One common tactic used by difficult people is playing the victim. They twist situations to make themselves seem wronged, placing the blame on you and making you feel guilty for something you may not have even done. This emotional manipulation can be powerful because it taps into our natural desire to help and make things right. In modern Stoicism, the approach is not to fall into the trap of guilt or manipulation, but to view the situation objectively. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The key is to assess the situation without letting emotions cloud your judgment. When someone plays the victim, it's easy to feel responsible for their emotions or actions, but Stoicism teaches that we can only control our responses, not others' actions. Consider Mark, a manager who found himself taking on extra work because a colleague played the victim when Mark mentioned their repeated tardiness. The colleague acted as if they were being unfairly treated, making Mark feel guilty for addressing their lack of performance. Initially, Mark felt obligated to help, but after reflecting on Stoic principles, he realized he was allowing manipulation. By objectively assessing the situation, Mark set clear boundaries and addressed the issue directly, relieving his stress and improving the work dynamic. In everyday life, we may encounter this manipulation from friends, family, or colleagues. Playing the victim can make us feel responsible for someone else's emotions, but Stoicism teaches us to stay grounded in reality. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle is the way." When facing emotional manipulation, it's our response, not the situation, that defines the outcome. By viewing things objectively without guilt or emotional sway, we maintain control and peace of mind. The next time someone tries to twist a situation and play the victim, ask yourself, am I truly responsible for their emotions? Reflecting on Stoic principles of self-control and perspective helps you avoid falling into guilt and manipulation. Protect your peace, stand firm in your boundaries, and remember that you control your reactions. The lesson is clear. Don't let others' emotional manipulations sway you. Stay true to yourself and the Stoic principles that guide you, with clarity and strength. Number 10. Inconsistent behavior. We've all encountered people whose behavior is erratic, one moment caring, the next cold. This creates insecurity and leaves us constantly guessing about their feelings. This inconsistency leaves us exhausted, disoriented, and even self-doubting. Stoicism offers a solution. Live by your own principles. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Live by your own principles, no matter the circumstances." When we hold on to our personal values, we stop being swayed by the attitudes of others. Don't seek external validation and instead maintain inner stability. If your co-worker is friendly today and cold tomorrow, instead of worrying, remember that their behavior reflects on them, not you. Focus on what you can control, how you react, how you perform, and your own integrity. Stoicism reminds us that peace comes not from controlling others, but from controlling ourselves. When someone is erratic, it does not diminish your worth. Instead of following their emotions, focus on maintaining consistency in your actions and thoughts. The next time you feel caught up in someone else's inconsistency, stop and ask yourself, am I allowing others to control my emotions? By staying true to your principles, you will no longer be a victim of erratic behavior, but a strong, stable, and free person. Thank you for watching today's video on recognizing manipulation tactics and how Stoic principles can help protect your peace and well-being. Remember, the first step to protecting yourself is recognizing these tactics and realizing that you deserve respect and love. By applying the teachings of modern Stoicism, you can build healthier, more fulfilling relationships based on mutual respect and integrity. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Secrets. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos where we dive deeper into Stoic secrets that can help you navigate life with wisdom and strength. Stay strong and keep practicing those Stoic lessons.